What's going on, Raptors brothers and sisters? Sid checking in, and quite simply, everyone, this game against the Clippers is one where the Raptors fans and Clippers fans knew exactly what we're getting into. However, the players were not on the same page. More specifically, the Raptors players. This is because the Raptors are coming into this game on a 2-day rest period. However, the Clippers are coming into this game off a game from yesterday. So this would be their back-to-back. And because of this, you think that since the Raptors players are coming into this game on a 2-day rest period, they're going to be more aggressive, slash the paint, and things of that nature, right? No, that was not the case, because the Clippers not only understood what type of game style the Raptors play on a daily basis, but more importantly, they understood what the Raptors were going to do coming into this game. And because of this, right from the get-go, they forcefully turned the momentum of the game and made it to a pace where they're more comfortable with, especially since they're coming once again off a back-to-back. And because of this, what happened is, since the Raptors didn't do the scouting report on the Clippers, they were playing catch-up basketball, and rightfully so, because that is something that an experienced team is going to do to a really young team, especially when the stakes are as high as they are with this game. And while we're talking about the Clippers, shout out to Norman Powell, aka Stormin Norman, as us as Raptors fans used to call him, because man, this guy laid down a storm and he wouldn't let up until the game was done. I mean, you could really see it in how he played. He was attacking the glass, he was making the extra pass, he was shooting threes, and he was doing basically everything that the Clippers needed to do to win. And honestly, that is something that is really respectable, both as a player and as a fan of basketball. Because once again, he is defined as one of those blue-collar guys who's going to do the grit and grind to make sure that the team gets the win. And as I said in prior videos, those types of players are very important for every team. And if you have one of those players, it's super beneficial, especially down the line. So shout out to the Clippers for doing the research on the Raptors and ultimately making the right reads and doing everything in their power to come away with this game. Now, with that being said though, since this is a loss for the Raptors, let's break down everything that the Raptors did coming out of this game and things that they need to improve going into the future games of the season. Now, for the Raptors positives coming out of this game, shout out to Emmanuel Quickley and Ochai Agbaji, because these two players understood what the game meant to the team and went beyond their normal capabilities to make sure that the team won this game. In Emmanuel Quickley's case, obviously this guy is a starting point guard, and as such, he understood the responsibility of carrying this team, or at least playing a significant factor in making sure the team wins. And we've seen this throughout the whole game with him shooting threes, him driving to the lane, him trying to make the extra read and things of that nature, and especially in the clutch where he shot the three to tie the game and he got super hyped. Unfortunately, at the end, it resulted in a loss because of a heartbreak in an out situation again. But shout out to Emmanuel Quickley for really playing his heart out in this game and making sure he did everything in his power to help the Raptors win. And on the flip side for Ochai Agbaji, shout out to him as well, because not only in this game but throughout this whole season, he's made significant improvements to increase his game. I mean, his bread and butter is attacking to the rim, especially in a full court setting, and when he does this, it's automatically guaranteed a bucket. But in addition to that, he's also working on his corner threes, which is super good, because with him constantly attacking the rim, there's a chance that the opponents are going to leave him for three. And as he continues to make his three-point shooting a little better, now whenever one door closes, another door opens. And for him, whenever slashing door closes, this guy can just simply shoot threes or mid-ranges and things of that nature and get buckets that way. So shout out to him for constantly working on his game and showing that in this game, because it was definitely needed for the Raptors to not only get back into this game, but also to make it as competitive as possible. So shout out to Emmanuel Quickley and Ochai Agbaji for doing whatever they needed to do to make sure that the Raptors had a fighting chance in this game. The first improvement that I would like to see the Raptors make coming out of this game is we need to do a better job of not fouling the opponent. Now, this error is something that I've seen in previous games, but I've not said anything about it because I was under the impression that the Raptors were playing condensed game, and because of this, they weren't really able to really have enough time to practice on countermeasures for this. But after a 2-day rest period and we're still making this mistake, nah, this is something that needs to be addressed immediately. So going into the future games of this season, the Raptors understand how the refs are going to be calling these games, because things like not giving the opponents a place to land or slapping their wrist and things of that nature are going to be instant fouls and will cause the opponents to go to the free throw line. And this is very, 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 very important to not do, because when the opponent goes to the foul line, the team fouls for the team that committed the foul rack up, and so in this case that would be the Raptors. And as they continue to do this, what happens is the opponent will be in a bonus situation where no matter, even if the Raptors do a slide push or things of that nature, the opponent will be able to just sell it and you'll get easy points that way. And that was basically what happened in this game, because when they're in a bonus situation, what happened for the Raptors is, instead of playing aggressive basketball, not only was it hindered, but now the Raptors are also thinking about how much fouls each player has, and that is just messing up the whole momentum and things of that nature. So going forward, I really hope that if we understand what types of fouls are committed, as well as how the refs are going to be calling these fouls and doing things as countermeasures to prevent these, I think that not only will we not need to worry about the foul trouble or how much fouls each player has, but more importantly, we can set the tone and set the play style to our favor and do everything in our power to win this game, especially on the road in a hostile environment. The second improvement that I would like to see the Raptors make coming out of this game is we need to improve our free throw shooting once again, because especially in this game, the free throw shooting, I believe, is the X factor that really decided which team is going to get the wins. Because not to say that the Raptors didn't go to the free throw line, which they did, but at the same time, for the Raptors, when we were at the free throw strike, we didn't really capitalize it, where we would be making one and missing one, or we would just miss both free throws altogether. And I believe that this really cost the Raptors, because every time we miss a free throw or miss free throws, it feels like our momentum just depletes altogether. So similar to how like the air just goes out of a flat tire. So going forward into future games, I believe that if we have a very high free throw percentage and we understand how important free throws are to the overall success of winning the game, I believe that it will just help us give an additional cushion to whatever we're doing, and hopefully at the worst case scenario, even if the game is close, we'll be able to capitalize off the free throws to hold on to the win. So hopefully the Raptors understand this going into future games and they make the necessary improvements as a collective to improve their free throw shooting. The final improvement that I would like to see the Raptors make coming out of this game is we need to do a better job of understanding what types of plays we're going to be running in crunch time, being in the fourth quarter. Now I understand that in the fourth quarter, the refs are more favorably going to side with the opponent team, especially when we're in a hostile environment. And that was the case in this game against the Clippers, because the Clippers got away with some non-calls that they were able to leverage. But in these types of situations, that just makes it more of a reason for the Raptors to understand what types of plays that we're going to run in that fourth quarter. Because honestly, if we allowed the game to be decided by the refs, that is no different than going to a casino and flipping a coin to see if the luck is on your side, which is something that the Raptors cannot afford to do at any point in their journey, because the game of basketball should be decided by the players itself, and the refs really shouldn't have a factor in it. And to improve on this and make that a reality, what the Raptors need to do is understand that in the fourth quarter, we're going to stick to the fundamentals or do certain plays that we are bread and butter to them, so that even if the refs somehow try to pull some tricks out of their bag and make this a more competitive game and try to help the opponents in any way, because we have those fundamental tactics in the back of our head, we won't really provide a way for them to really leverage those mistakes, and ultimately we'll be able to run away with the game, or at the very worst scenario, we'll be able to hold off for the win. So hopefully, going into future games of this season, I hope that the Raptors start to create some plays that are bread and butter to them that we could optimize in the fourth quarter, so that using these plays will not only help the Raptors get their momentum back, but also when we use these plays repetitively, it will almost guarantee a win for the Raptors on any given night, especially when we're on the road. So hopefully the Raptors coaches and everybody on the Raptors team understands this and makes strides in this direction to ultimately find some plays that will help us win more games, especially on the road. So yeah, overall this game, like I said before, is a tale of one team, being the Clippers, understanding what the Raptors were going to do coming into this game, and unfortunately the Raptors were not on that same pace, which led them to playing catch-up basketball the whole game, and ultimately because they were playing catch-up basketball, not only did they cause more foul trouble, but also all the possessions that they made, especially in that fourth quarter, were more mistakes than actual benefits, and ultimately the Clippers were able to leverage these, and with their experience they were able to run away with the win. So going forward, I hope that the Raptors continue to improve on the improvements that I mentioned earlier, or at the very least make strides to improve in those areas, because if not, well, it's more likely that there are going to be situations like today where it's going to end in a heartbreak, which is not going to look good from both the Raptors players and fan standpoint. So hopefully they make these necessary improvements going forward, and we'll just need to see what they do in the future games to come. So with that being said, if you like these types of videos, make sure to give me one of these, smash that subscribe button and hit that bell, and until next time, Sip signing out.